3 of our Python session. We will cover like modules, what are all the modules available, and file input output, and introduction to OOPS concept we'll be covering, and what is classes, objects. No, we'll go with classes and objects basics, and we'll go with constructor or and destructor, and we'll go with types of variables. Also, what are all the types of variables available and types of methods which is there in which is there. So we'll start with the session. So we'll go with these topics today, and whatever doubts you have, please ensure that you ping it in your in the chat box. Thank you. Irfan, you can continue.
So previous section we learned exception handling. In this session we are going to learn modules. So what are the modules? In the first session I said like Python has 1 lakh libraries. So libraries are the modules. In other languages like C, C++, including some header files in your program, that is a module in Python. Okay, or in Java we are importing some packages in a program. So that's like in Python we are importing some modules in our program. So let's take the previous example in like arguments. In that arguments I am going to define one function. So in if you are writing a Python program, so this file is a module. Okay, let's remove the function calling here. I'm going to call this function in this module. Okay, in this program I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this file into this program. How to call it? Using import keyword you can import the module. Import and the module name like arguments. So we are imported the arguments module. Now how to access this function in this module? Using the name, the arguments name. Arguments is the name of the module. If you put dot here, you can see the two functions, add and print naturals. If I call here print naturals, you need to give a parameter here like 10. So it is printing 0 to 9. So in this arguments file, we are just printing the natural numbers. That's it. So this how you can use the modules. So I am importing the whole module here. Now I want to import only this function. How we can achieve that is using the from keyword. From the module name, import from the module. I'm going to import this function only. So let's comment this. So what is the use of from is, if you want to access the print natural function, you need to give the module name. Okay, module name and dot. If I use from and import, you don't need to use this name. Okay, just print naturals. That's it. It will work. every Python file is a Python module. Okay. Now in Python, default we have some modules, and also I said like uh, it has 1 lakh libraries. If you go to the PyPy, this is the Python modules available in internet. In the PyPy, we can download some packages and install in the Python. Okay, it has libraries like in this you can see releases and 2, 4, 5. What? This number of files are available in PyPy. Okay, now you can see now we see some default packages available in Python. Okay, one is time. Time, like you can know the time now. So we can use the time for we can stop the Python uh, file running in a short time period. How we can achieve that is, let's take an example for I in range. Print the I. If I run this, it will print in a fraction of seconds. Okay, I need to stop a particular time for the short time period. You can stop. You can sleep using sleep function. I'm going to sleep 1 second. Yes, it will print one by one. 1 second. So it is printing 0. After 1 second, it is printing 1. After 1 second, like is going on. It's the use of time dot sleep. One more module that is random. This random will pick you some random values. Random dot random. So we need to specify the range. So 1 comma 10. The 1 comma 10 it is printing 7. Okay. And another useful module is that OS. OS is you can interact with your operating system. Okay. If I put OS dot, it has some functions and attributes here. So in here, I'm going to like chdir means change directory. First of all, we see what is our current directory, current working directory. So OS dot get cwd. It is current working directory. So now we are in the new folder. So we can also change the directory using os dot change directory. Let's change it to D. Now we will print the current directory. So once we are in the new folder, now we are in D folder. Okay, can also create a folder like mkdir make directory. Here we need to pass the folder name. So I'm going to create sample folder here. So it is created, the folder is created. If you go and see there in the new folder, it has a folder called sample. There you can see the sample folder is available. So we can also remove some folder os.rm directory. So it will remove sample directory. It is exist, so we can uncomment it. So the folder is removed. If you see here, we are not, the sample folder is not available. Okay, the use of rm directory, remove directory, and we can also list out the directory. What are the folders available in D? We can get that from os.list directory. It will list out all the available folders and files in the D folder. So there are these folders and files available in the D directory. So if you can see this here, it is available. Okay, and we have another function called walk. What is the use of walk? That is, uh, the list directory will print only the available folders, but the walk will go inside another folder. Like it will go inside this folder, and it will print all of the available files. Like it will go on to the till the end. So it will print bunch of folders and files. So these are the available folders and files in the D directory. So all of the inside this is it will go inside this, and inside this it will go like it will go on like a tree view. Okay. So this printing I'm going to stop this. So that is the use of OS module. Okay. So now we are going to see how to read a file in Python. To open the file and read, we have two methods. First method is we need to open the file and we need to create an object for the file. So let's say file, the variable equal to open the file we have open function in Python, and we need to give the path here d colon slash and we need to give the mode like read or write. For reading we need to give R. To writing we are need to give W. Now we are going to read, so just give R. So it will open the file and we need to read the file dot read. It will read it and we need to close the file dot close. This is the first method. No such file or sorry. So the file is not here. So let's create a file. There the so in this we are going to write some text. Save it and close this. If I run one more time, so we need to print this read. So it is printing what is inside the file. So this is the first method. So we need to open the file and do some operations in file reading and close the file. It's not safe because if any error occur in file reading, it will exit without closing the file. So we have another method using with keyword. With the open the file. Now we need to give as means alias. This is the alias of this open. Let's say this name as file. So we need to read the file. Print file dot read, and we can just now in the last we can close this file. If any error occurs in file reading here, with will help you to close the file. Without this also is valid because the with will close the file automatically inside. Okay, so this is the safest way to read files. So now we can see how to write the files, write in the files. W is for writing the files. To write the files, we have some text here. I'm going to write this text in the file. File dot write the text, and we can close it. Now if I go and open this, you can see hello world Python here. Okay, this is how you can read and write in the files. Okay, we have another like if you see I am writing in here, so hello world Python, before I write in file, that is removed. Okay, W will remove the content available in the file. Okay, if the file is not there, it will create the file. If I remove this and run again, it will create a file automatically. So it is creating the file. Okay, so now shall see one problem statement, like user giving you the informations and we need to write it in the file. Okay, this is the infinite times you need to write. A number of times you can write in the file. Okay, let's say the option pt equal to yes, while the opt equal to yes, as the input text equal to input, enter some text. Now we need to open the file, open, and also we need to ask the path, file path. Enter the path. And we need to open the file in the path. We need to write. So if I say the write will clear all the content. Okay, we know we're not going to clear the content. We are just appending in the last. So we need to use a. After writing, we need to close the file. And we need to ask the user is you need to enter. Do you want to continue? Like and the OPT will change with the input. If the user will say no, the while loop will go to false and it will not execute this. Okay, till we give the yes. So we enter the path. I'm going to just open sample. So we need to write some text. So it is asking me, do you want to continue? If I say yes, it will ask some text one more time. And one more time, if it's asking, do you want to continue? If I say no, it will exit from the loop. And if I go and check the sample, so if you say good morning and hello world is in the same line. So we need to have this in another line. So how we can do that? using the /n. /n is the escape character in Python. /n is the new line. So if I remove the file and run one more time, back. Now you have in the line by line. So /n is the new line. It will give into the new line here. Okay. So this is the file reading and the writing. Now we are going to see the class and object. So when it comes to oops means object oriented programming system. An object oriented programming system. So when it comes to oops, things are a bit different. It's because all are behave like an object. If you say a is equal to 10, you are not assigning 10 value to a. You are just creating an object of integer. Okay. If I print the type of the a, you can see here class int. So it is a class. Okay, it belongs to the class of integer. Inside the object is created and a is an object. So class can contain two. Class contains two things. One is attributes. Attributes are the variables, and behavior. Behavior like it is a function. In oops concept, function is called as methods. So that is a method. So variable knows something and methods does something. So it is do something. Okay. To create a class, we have class keyword. So class is a blueprint of the object. If you have a car, so car has four wheels and one steering. It is the blueprint like every car has. Okay. But some designs are different. So that is the blueprint. So using one blueprint, we can create multiple objects. Okay. So class and the class name, the car. So like I said, class contains variables. Wheels equal to 4. Steering equal to 1. Okay. Now we need to create the object for class car. Obj. To create a object, you need to give the class name and the brackets. Now the object is created. If you check the type of object, It belongs to car, class car. Okay, I can create one or more objects. It has its own ID, memory address. Okay, IDs of objects is different. So this is the different IDs. Now, how to access these variables inside the class using the object? If we create a str object, str1 equal to hello world. This is an object of string. So how we can access the functions of string in string manipulation? Last we see dot. It has the functions and variables, attributes. Like this, we can access the variables in the class. Obj dot. You can see the wheels. So it is printing 4. The value is 4. Now class is containing variables and how to define the method. So like that functions we can define the method and def, let's say sample. In object oriented method, in the method the first parameter would be self. We will talk about later what is self. So the first parameter would be self, always self. Okay, now we can print. So how we can access the sample, like using the object dot sample. So it will print you hi. So this function can access these variables. Using the uh, class name also you can access car dot wheels. If you don't have objects, you can also access the variables using the class name. So now it is printing car has 4 wheels and car has 1 steering. Now I can also change the value of the variables, like obj dot wheels equal to, I can change it to 5. If I print obj dot wheels, the wheels would be 5. After changing it to 5, the wheels is 5. If I print the object 2, it also so it is the 4. Okay, every object has its own values. In object I change it to 5, so that is 5. Now in object 2 it has 4. Okay, I can also change using the class name car dot wheels equal to 5. If I change like this, every object will change. Every object will change. Now 5, 5. So first object wheels also 5 and second object wheels also 5 because I'm changing with the class name itself. This is called as a class variables. Okay, we have two types of variables. One is class variables and instance variables, and we can we have also two types of methods. One is class methods and instant methods. So now we can see what is the use of self. Before you need to know the self, let's see what is the constructor. So constructor is a special method that is underscore underscore in it. It will start working when the object is created. When object creation, it will execute it. So what is the use of constructor is it will allocate you memory space. So the first parameter would be self, and you can assign some variables in the using the self. Self is a object. Now self is the object. Okay. Self is the current working object. So if I called obj.sample, the self would be obj. If I call obj2.sample, the self would be obj2 object 2. Okay, this is the current working object. Now you can assign some variables in using the constructor, like car name equal to. So every car has its own name. Okay, like this object, the name of BMW. Now if I print obj dot name, so that is BMW. Okay, we can also give parameters here, like name here. We can assign the name into the instance variable. I am created the parameter to instant variable, like self dot name is the instant variable. So if I give parameter here, I need to give arguments in the object creation. BMW. Okay, so I'm created two objects. The name of the two objects is different. Obj dot name and obj2 dot name. So this will be different. The first object, the name is BMW. Second object, the name is Ford. So this is the constructor. Constructor will call in the object creation, which is the parameterized constructor, because we have given parameters. How we can give the arguments for this? In the object creation, you need to pass the values for the parameters. So self is the current working object. Why the wheels and steering are outside in the constructor is because this is the class variables. Class variables are same for every object. For first object wheels also 4 and second object wheels also 4. So this is the common for objects. Okay, you can change the class variables using the class name. If I change it using the class name, it will change with all objects. It will change to all objects. Okay, this is the class. Now you can create a class and create an object. Using the object, you can access the methods and the variables. Till we see class variables, and this is the instant variables. So this is the instant methods. How we can achieve class methods? So we can also use this. Let's remove this. We can access the instance variables inside the method using the self keyword. So in this display, I am going to print. If you want to, if you don't want to work with instant variables, if you want to work with class variables, you can define a class method. To define a class method, you need to give aggregate So you need to give aggregate class method, and it takes one parameter like CLS. Instant methods will use self, which is an object. Class method uses CLS, that is the class name. CLS is the class name. You need to call the function. The class method you can call using the class name itself, like car dot display. We can call with the class name itself. So it is printing car has 4 wheels and car has 1 steering. Here this is the class name car. This is the class variables, and this is instant variables. Instant variables will change uh, every object. Class variables will not change every object. The class variables are same. And if you want to work with class method only, sorry, class variables only, you can use class methods. To define the class method, before the method definition, you need to give aggregate class method. This the first parameter of class method would be CLS. In the first parameter of instant method would be self. The instant method also called as non-static method. For non-static method, we have another type, static method. If you don't want to work with instant variables and class variables, you can define static method. Static method will not take any parameters. To define the class method, we use aggregate class method. Like that, to define static method, we need to give aggregate static method. Okay. So it takes no parameters because it's not working with class variables and instant variables. So how we can call this function is using the class name. You can call the function. So it is printing good morning. This is the type of three class method and static method. This is non-static method. Defaultly in Python, the method is non-static method. So we can define class method using aggregate class method, and you can also define static method using add static method. So variables outside the constructor, this is called class variables, and inside the constructor, these are instant variables. Okay. Now you can see some problem statements using class. You are given a tuple. In that tuple, you have some integers like 395. What you need to do is you need to calculate the sum before the 5. So before the 5 is 39. So sum of 39 is 12. And in this, the before 5 is 4. So 12 plus 4, that is 16. So in this, before 5 is not an integer, so leave it. So the answer would be 12. How you can calculate this? So you need to take one parameter, TUP. First you need to create a variable like sum equal to 0. Now I'm going to loop over the tuple for value in TUP. Now the value is 395. I need to calculate the sum before the 5. So the integer is not a sequence type, that you cannot use the index. Okay, but wait, we can convert that into string. Okay, after converting that into string, we can loop over it for I in str of value. So now I is the 3 in the string format. Now I need to check whether this is the 5 or not. I is, before checking we need to convert that into integer. Using the integer function we can convert that into integer. So int of I equal to 5. If 5, let's break it. Break this function only. This function. Okay. Else we can add the value in the sum. So yes plus equal to the value of integer value. Okay. After this you need to print the yes. Let's create an object for sample. You need to call the problem function. In that function we need to pass the argument. So the answer is 16. Okay. Like we said 3 plus 9 12 and 12 plus 4 that is 16. We pass another value. So that is 23. From this it is 16 and 3 4 that is 7. 16 plus 4 that is 23. Okay. Now we can see the now we are going to see the inner class. Class inside a class, that is inner class. Okay. Class sample. I'm going to create a constructor for that. I'm going to create another class inside this class. Sample 2. Inside this class, I have some methods like display. So inside the sample class, I'm going to define a method. So let's create an object for sample class. I'm going to call the function grade. It's printing good morning. You can also create an object for this sample too. How you can create an object for inner class using the object first class object obj dot sample2. So this is how you can create an object for inner class. Using the object to you can access the display function. Now it is printing good morning and hi. So the hi is in the inside of sample2 class. So how we can create the class for object for inner class using the first object. You can create the object for second inner class. Okay, this is how the inner class works. Okay, now we can take a 5 minutes break. After the break, we shall continue.
Yeah, put the timer for some time, Irfan.
Okay.
ஹலோ. அதான் இந்தியா பூரா எல்லாம் யார்ட்டையும் ரெண்டல் வாங்காதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க தமிழ்நாட்டில். ஆமா போட்டிருக்காங்க. அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஆமா இந்த மாசம் இன்னும் ஏதாவது இது என்னன்னா அதான் இப்ப பாரு ஒவ்வொருத்தவங்க ஒவ்வொரு சைடு மாட்டிக்கிட்டோம். நான் இங்க மாட்டிக்கிட்டேன். பா அம்மாலாம் பொருசா இருக்காங்க. பாப்மா பாப்மா மாட்டீங்க. ஹலோ
So now we can start. Can continue. Now we are going to see the concept of inheritance. Since we have time, so we can see the inheritance. In Python, we have 4 types of inheritance. Single level inheritance, and multi-level inheritance. Third one is multiple inheritance. The fourth one is hierarchical inheritance. The 4 types of inheritance. So first we need to know about what is inheritance. In some projects, you have created some application in that have some classes. Okay. Now you are going to develop the application. In that class, you are written some codes. So now you need to update something, some variables and some functions, but you cannot replace the functions in the existing class. So you can add some features in the class without changing the class. Okay? How you can achieve this? Say class sample. The class I have I is equal to 10. Let's say. Okay. Now I have some functions in the this function I have written in. I'm not going to change this function. I cannot change the function, but I can update the function using the another function. Example 2. Sample 2 inherited. How to inherit? After the class name you can put brackets. In that brackets you can write the class name. Now the sample2 is inherited sample1. So now sample2 can use the sample1 variables and functions. You see here I can now if I create the object for sample2, if I put obj dot, if you see the sample2 is inheriting the sample1 members like display and I. Now the sample2 can use the this variable and function in the previous class. Okay, now you can display. So this display belongs to this class. Now this class also can access to the display function. Okay, this is the single level inheritance. One class and the this is called as a super class, and this is the subclass. Super class for sample2 is sample. Okay. Now we see the constructor in the inheritance. If I put constructor in the sample class, so this is the constructor of sample. Now I am going to create the constructor for sample2. If I put this variable inside this constructor, to access this I, we need to call the constructor of sample using this sample, because we are not creating the object for sample. If you create an object for sample, the constructor of sample will run. But here I am creating the object of sample2, so the sample2 constructor will run. So constructor of sample2 only is available. Now if I try to print I, it is not available. Will give you some error because sample2 object has no attribute, because the constructor is not running. So if the constructor run, the I will available. So to call the superclass constructor, we have function called super. This function will call the constructor of superclass. This is the constructor of superclass. Now it is running the first it is running the constructor of sample, and it is running the constructor of sample 2. Now you can access the I value. I value is 10. It's not giving me error. Okay, it's the constructor in inheritance. So now we see single level inheritance. Say I have class A. So now I am going to create another class B. Class B inherits A. Okay. This is the single level inheritance. Now I am going to create another class, class C. Class C inherits B. Now if I create object for C, you can see the three functions available. Why is because C inherits B, so B has display one, the first class function display one and display two. Now C inherits B, so C can access display two, display one, and display three also. That's why it's showing three functions. It can access display one, it can access display two, it can access display three. So in A, in B, in C. This is the multi-level inheritance. So what is the superclass of A? B, that is A, and the superclass of C, that is B. Okay. So now C can access display one and display two. Now we take this example itself. I'm going to remove this, and here I'm going to give two classes. So C inherits B and A. So B is the superclass of C and A also is the superclass of C. It is the multi-level inheritance. Sorry, multiple inheritance. Now C also can access display 2 and display 1. This feature is not available in Java because in the multi-level inheritance, if you have two methods in same name, I'm going to call the display. Which display will run? This display or this display? This confusion in Java, they removed multiple inheritance. So now it is running in B. It is running in B because the first inherited class of display will run. If I inherit first A class, it will run in A. This is the multiple inheritance. We create the object for D. Can access only display. Let's make it as display one display. Now you can the D is can access display one, display two, and display three because C is inheriting A, so it can access display one. Now D is inheriting C, so C inherits B, so it can access both of display one and display two. This is called hierarchical inheritance. So this single level inheritance, sorry, it's multi-level inheritance, and this is multiple inheritance. So two inheritance will join in the hierarchical inheritance. This is the inheritance types. Is the so
Irfan?
any so
Yes, it's almost time up. We need to go for another call but 11 o'clock.
okay,
So we can wind up the session today.
okay. Any doubts you can ask me.
Yeah, if you have any pending topics in this thing, we will take up tomorrow. By 11 o'clock,
Okay,
no, we shall go with the next session. That is, we need to go for another call.
okay.
Or any doubts, guys, you have? Few people have asked where is the last session video. You can find it in bigdatahandson.com website. In that, no, you can find it in Meetup uploads. In Meetup video, no, you'll have that videos. You can see that videos. I guess there is no doubts. Any doubts you have? No doubts. So let's wind off the session. Thank you.